comedy about a child-free woman who gets tricked by her boyfriend into having a child. Hey everyone, welcome back to Lives on Reddit. Don't forget to subscribe to be a for lifer. I found this movie and had to hate watch it to convince myself it was real. It's German. Translated, the title would be I Don't Want to Have a Baby with You. Settle in, it's one heck of a crap show. The horror movie, disguised as a comedy of all things, centers around a couple, Anna and Philip, who decided long ago to be child-free. She's a successful professor up for promotion and tenure, and he's a physician who inherited his dad's practice. One day, in the middle of being intimate, he blurts out, "I want us to have a baby," which of course kills her lady tent. Apparently, he's changed his mind about children, and so start the next 30 minutes of bingoing. Anna: "Why? We agreed no kids."
"Well, I didn't know you meant forever. I can't survive without children."
"If I had known you wanted children one day, I never would have fallen in love with you."
"If I was a woman, I would never reject the gift of life. Never reject experiencing the feeling of being pregnant and giving birth. Well, I just suddenly want children."
"Maybe the urge will go away just as suddenly."
"I love you. Don't you love me?"
"Yes, and that's why I don't want to add a child into the mix that could come between us. All this crapping, screaming, teething, no thanks." She's kind of my hero at this point. Other great hits of his include
"But you would be a great mother. I want a legacy."
And
"I've reached all the big milestones in life, but now I feel empty. I want to know what being a father is like."
Side characters include a student of hers who missed a deadline 3 times in a row because of her child, and who then talks crap about how heartless the professor is. Anna's friend, who is really disappointed she doesn't want children. Philip's friend, who has a child, obviously hates it, but constantly tells his friend what a joy children are and that he has to have one. He eventually cheats on his wife because
since she's had the baby, she never wants to be intimate anymore. She's always tired.
While the wife says that's because he never does any childcare. Philip's parents, who only had one child, but can't accept that Philip doesn't have his own. They then adopt a grandchild through a program that connects old people who never got to have grandchildren with children who have no grandparents because they just really need to be grandparents. Around the 30-minute mark, Anna is finally fed up and says that they should break up since they both want different things. But he actually decides to choose her over having a baby. That lasts for about one scene before his deadbeat dad friend encourages him to poke holes in their protection. Philip then sings a song about how he's going to be a dad soon on the drive home like the villain he is. Anna, still thinking he's okay with staying child-free, tells him she plans to get sterilized just so they can be absolutely sure and safe. He flips his lid. She later finds the tampered protection by chance, but his excuse is,
"Well, nothing happened, so why are you mad?"
And that it wasn't illegal, which it actually is here in Germany. Well, turns out she did get pregnant. She wants to get an abortion and not even tell him, but her friend says he has the right to know and tells Philip behind her back. He goes crazy again and throws stuff and locks her into the bathroom. Such a great person. Great father material. She kicks him out and he goes to his parents. Since she's got that promotion in a different city and he has a demanding job as well, he preemptively asks his father if he wouldn't mind coming out of retirement for 1 or 2 years so he can focus all his time on the potential baby that she doesn't even want, as if 1 to 2 years are also all that's needed until a baby is grown up. He manipulates Anna into letting him drive her to her abortion so he can say goodbye to his child. And wouldn't you know it, at the last minute, she changes her mind. They kiss and live happily ever after. Frick this crap. How did this movie get made? This is a very stereotypical Hollywood or film industry or celebrity story. I'm always reminded of Marie Antoinette's "let them eat cake" statement. It's glorifying the simple life of peasants. Moving up in the world and success never brings you happiness. Just having children and living a simple life is the true happiness. It's a narrative that explains why celebrities and all have such difficult lives that have massive divorces, drug problems, and breakdowns of all kinds. In reality, it's that the inherent instability of people who seek that life probably cause those, but I digress. If you look at movies as a whole, you'll see the story repeat itself. Nicolas Cage in The Family Man, Anne Hathaway in Devil Wears Prada, etc., etc., etc. The story is always the same. Success brings you emptiness, family and a simple life will bring you ultimate happiness. Don't strive for better, stay down there where you are and have a family and eat cake. I really hate how getting children is so glorified in Germany by society and the government. Germany has the highest population density in Europe, and that honestly sucks butt in so many fields. Insane traffic, even in small countryside towns, unaffordable high real estate prices, even for single room flats, just to name two of many things which really tick me off. I traveled to Australia for the last 2 years, which was a dream. Of course, Australia also has its downsides, but a country the size of Europe with a population of 25 million is so livable. Back in Germany, I am so annoyed by the amount of people everywhere. Yet people are still popping out one kid after another. Frick that. Just look at the recent €300 cash for all parents as a gift from the government that they took care of their own freaking kids during quarantine, while child-free people that lost their jobs, students, or elderly people are getting nothing. Women who sabotage their birth control and trick men into becoming fathers disgust me. But I think men who do this are even more disgusting. They're not the ones who have to live with their body being held hostage for 9 months. They don't struggle with postpartum depression and postpartum psychosis. They don't deal with the permanent, lasting effects of pregnancy and childbirth on the body. They barely raised a child that they wanted. And they likely only wanted it for selfish, egotistical reasons like my genes. At least the women who stealth actually raised the kid they wanted, regardless of whether the father is involved or not. Heck, some of them end up becoming a full-on deadbeat and nope out of fatherhood, leaving the woman to raise the kid that she didn't want, which eventually gets picked up by the child, and they go on to have significant mental health problems later on in life. Frick men who do this. Frick this movie for promoting this creepy, forced intimacy, misogynistic BS. Sorry for the rant. I just have a real deep seething hatred for men who seem to view women as property and baby makers. The very last scene is her returning from work a few years later and meeting her boyfriend and their toddler spawn at a playground. Of course, she is so happy and they are the absolute perfect family, even though that goes against everything they've shown the entire movie. I decided to look this crap up, and reading the official synopsis just gave me a second aneurysm. Translated on the fly. Philip and Anna are living in Berlin's booming quarter, Kreuzberg. They too enjoy going to the park, but with their little niece Nellie. Anna will have nothing to do with Philip's sudden wish for a child. She is about to get tenure as a professor and insists on their previous deal. No kids. Okay, so far so good. The more Philip pleads with his wife about having a baby, the clearer her rejection becomes. She already had to take care of her younger sister Emmy, who was a baby when their mother died. Now she wants to lead her own independent life without offspring. Not that she needs a reason for not wanting kids, but this sounds like a pretty good one. Pretty sure I've seen quite a few posts on Reddit about people who were forced to play the role of parents as children, and it sucks. So she is somehow meant to be wrong in this stance? But it increasingly grates on Philip to be childless. Something is missing from his life. His own parents are redirecting their attention from their only son. Hella and Ulf have stopped waiting for a grandchild and instead got little Uma via the Dream Grandma initiative. At the last minute, Philip manages to keep her from getting all his toys. What? I'm sure there's an argument to be made that to some level it's his stuff and he should have had the chance to remove anything he wanted to keep from his parents' house. But what exactly would be wrong with their foster grandkid getting his toys? He still need him or something? Are we as viewers meant to care? When Anna wants to start the long-awaited tenure in Leipzig, Philip sees his dream start to evaporate. A long-distance relationship would be the end of his dream of a family. Now he must act. Anna must get pregnant before. Any means will do to achieve this.
Who's going to ask the questions once the desired Sprague is here? But can love last amidst this conflict of interest?
This paragraph is a native load of what the frick right here, especially when you consider that the movie answers that last question with yes. 2 reasons for these breeder attitudes being so prevalent, I guess. 1, racism. We're gonna get overrun by the brown people. 2, people are still buying into the pyramid scheme of everyone needs to have kids or our economy and in particular pensions collapse. Holy crap, what the heck is this disgusting piece of trash? How in the heck is this funny and how is this acceptable? What were they thinking? This is basically a non-supernatural and rom-com version of Rosemary's Baby. What am I kidding? Rom-coms aren't actually funny. They are very ill-humored and disgusting. They make fun of divorce and affairs and you know what, and custody battles and paternity tests and so on. I don't find that all funny. It's not lighthearted, but just dark humor. What's the German title of the film? And what kind of ratings and criticisms and reactions did it get? Ich will kein Kind von dir. And the official reviews are all super positive because it's such a real movie and so relatable. I only found one that even mentioned something negative, namely that him tampering with birth control was a bit in bad taste. Whoa, 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 whoa. Don't leave. Subscribe.